Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over the answers of reading quiz chapter 9, and also I have some infinity questions that I want to solve today. Let's start with the first question. How is a legal monopoly different from a natural monopoly? Natural monopoly is the one that's actually the company becomes a monopoly naturally, because if there is a competition, the cost rises too much such that companies are not making money. For instance, electricity or tap water could be an example of a natural monopoly where the fixed costs are huge because you need to provide service to every home, and by spending that much fixed costs there may not be enough customers for every company if there were a competition. Therefore, natural monopoly arises. In a legal monopoly, there are entry barriers, but these entry barriers are created by government. For instance, government provides a patent to a company for a discovery. If you remember, patent is given to a company if the company finds something new, innovative. And these patents are usually given to pharmaceutical companies because pharmaceutical companies need to spend lots of money to discover a new drug. Because of doing lots of research, they need to be provided some type of monopoly power to get back the money they spent. Therefore, patents are used for that reason. So, given that definition, in a legal monopoly, barriers to entry are created by the government. This is correct. In a legal monopoly, the monopolist has purchased the necessary certificate from the local government. This is not correct. A legal monopoly applies to government-run institutions. That is not correct too. Companies could be pharmaceutical companies. Therefore, they are not government-run institutions. In a legal monopoly, the Federal Trade Commission has paid a firm to be the only producer. That is not correct as well. Question 2. The profit-maximizing monopolist would achieve loss minimization. So, we have the condition MC equals MR, and this condition gives us the quantity. That is the optimal quantity, could be profit maximization quantity or loss minimization. Loss minimization is an optimal quantity too. So just quickly understand this point. So we find Q star, and this Q star helps us to find the P star, the profit maximizing price. Let's see it on the demand curve. So monopoly's demand curve is downward sloping, and let's say this is the marginal cost curve and this is the marginal revenue curve. So the intersection of marginal cost and marginal revenue tells us the quantity where monopoly finds the optimal point, and using this optimal point going up to the demand curve, we can find the price that corresponds to that optimal quantity. But the question is, this optimal quantity could be a profit maximization point or a loss minimization. So how do we understand? We understand that by checking the average total cost curve. If average total cost curve is set above the price, then this is a loss minimization point. If it's below the price like this, then this is actually profit maximization, because at that quantity, let's say here, you are paying ATC amount, but you are earning P, so the difference is positive, so you're making a per unit profit. So given this, we know that if the price is less than average total cost, then we are actually loss minimizing. So price above average total cost is a wrong answer. Total cost equals total revenue is zero profit, because if total cost equals total revenue, the company is making zero economic profit. Price is below average variable cost. If you remember, price is below average variable cost, this company shuts down. So therefore, the right answer is price is between average total cost and average variable cost. Question number 3. Which of the following is not an example of a monopoly? The government-run postal service is a monopoly, USPS. In 1930s, the Aluminium Company of America controlled most of the bauxite, a key mineral used in making aluminum, is an example of monopoly. A utility, water, sewer, electricity, I said it before, natural monopoly, so that is monopoly. 3 firms control the production of a precious gem globally is an example of oligopoly. In monopoly, you have one company. In oligopoly, you have dominant firms, more than one. Question 4. Patents, trademarks, and copyrights provide limited monopoly power. That's the correct answer. For patents, for example, you can have the only sole producers of the product for 20 years. So it gives a limited monopoly power. Question 5. A large airline provides most of the flights between two particular cities. A new small startup airline decides to offer service between these two cities. The large airline immediately slashes prices on this route to the bone so that the new entrant cannot make any money. After the new entrant has gone out of business, the incumbent firm raises prices again. So this is an example of predatory pricing. The company who's already in the market wants to prevent competition by just reducing the prices so low that the new entrants cannot make profit and will leave the industry. Once they leave the industry, prices go back to its regular monopoly level. Question 7. What kind of demand curve does the monopolist face? And from here, you'll see that the demand curve is downward sloping. Since monopoly is the only company in the industry, if you think this is price, this is quantity, the demand curve is the industry demand curve, and also monopolies, because monopoly refers to one company in the industry. So monopolist faces a downward sloping demand curve, which means if it wants to see a low level of output, it can charge a high price. So if the quantity is here, this is 0, then the prices are going to be higher. But if monopoly wants to produce more, then it can only do it by reducing the price. That's the idea of downward sloping demand curve. Question 7. How does the monopoly determine the level of output that maximizes profit? As I write it here on the board, the condition is MC equals MR, or the intersection of these two curves. So therefore, the right answer is by determining where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Question 8. The formula for calculating marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is calculated as change in total revenue divided by change in quantities sold, not produced. Therefore, the right answer is the first one. Question 9. Allocative efficiency is an economic concept regarding efficiency at the social or societal level. It refers to producing the optimal quantity of some output, the quantity where the marginal benefit to society of one more unit just equals the marginal cost. The rule of profit maximization in a world of perfect competition was for each firm to produce the quantity of output where price equals marginal cost. Remember, price was representing marginal revenue, and marginal cost is the cost of producing additional unit. So a monopolist is not going to sell at this price because monopolists can prevent the competition. If there is no competition, price rises more than marginal cost. So I can show it on again drawing a monopoly's demand curve. So here is the price, here's the quantity, this is the demand curve, this is marginal cost. This is marginal revenue. If monopoly produces marginal cost equals to marginal revenue, this should be the price. But monopoly doesn't choose that price. Monopoly chooses quantity where MC equals MR and then go up to the demand curve to charge to find the price. So this is the monopolist price. So price is always greater than marginal cost in monopoly. Therefore, monopoly market is not allocatively efficient. So the right answer is monopoly has no motivation to operate at an output level where P is equal to MC once a barrier is in place and no longer has to worry about competition. So therefore, this is the right answer. Question 10. Using a graphical approach, once you have found the optimal level of output for the monopolist, how would you find the corresponding price? So this is an example of a question that you need to practice to learn. The intersection of MC and MR determines first the quantity. So first find the intersection of MC and MR. Second, find the quantity. Third, go to the demand curve to find the price. Okay. So these are the steps you need to follow to find the optimal price and optimal quantity in a monopoly market. So let's find out the right answer. From the point of optimal level of output, we need to go up to demand curve, then trace horizontally over to the price. This is the right answer. So these are the questions for, now let's check questions from Edfinity. I'm going to solve question number 5. Suppose the following are true for a monopolist market. Price curve is given, MR is given, MC is given, ATC given. And the question is, what is the profit maximizing price and quantity? So profit maximizing price and quantity is found by first MC equals MR. So we need to solve first this part. And I know that MC is 65 plus 6Q equals to MR 950 minus 8Q. So by solving this, I will find the optimal quantity. So I can move this 8Q here. So 6Q plus 8Q. And then I can move 65 here. 950 minus 65. So 6Q plus 8Q is 14Q is equal to 950 minus 65. 885. And then we can divide both sides by 14. And then Q is equal to 63.21. I just take the 2 decimal points. So probably you cannot produce 63.21 quantities, but let's try 63 first. Yeah, you have to make sure that you are going to use the whole number, not the decimals, for the quantity. And to find out the price, we are going to plug this quantity star into price equation. So what is the price? Price equals 950 minus 4Q. So price equals 950 minus 4 times 63. And then price equals 950 minus 4 times 63, which is 252. And that's equal to 698. This is how we calculate the price. And next we need to find the profit. So for profit, we need ATC and we need to calculate average total cost. If you remember, the profit is either total revenue minus total costs or price minus ATC gives us per unit profit times quantity. Both are the same, okay? I'm going to use this equation, so I need ATC because I have the quantity, I have the price, only missing is ATC. To calculate ATC, I'll just get the equation and instead of Q, I will plug 63. So ATC is equal to 65 plus 189, which is equal to 254. So now I can calculate the profit. Price is 698, we just find it. 698 minus 254 times 63 is the profit. So let's calculate 698 minus 254 times 63, which is 27,972. This is how you are going to solve this question. Now next I want to solve question number 6. The graph below shows cost and revenue curves for producing different amounts of dishwasher. The market for dishwashers in this example is a monopoly. On the graph, A is 33, B is 15, C is 11, D is 17, and E is 36. How many dishwashers should a monopolist produce? So we check MC equals MR intersection and read D, because the intersection refers to D, the quantity. That's the profit maximizing quantity. So the right answer is 17. What price should a monopolist charge for dishwashers? From D, we go up to the demand curve and then read the price on the vertical axis here. We go horizontally in this section and that's A, then it's 33. And that's the answer. And now I'm going to solve number 13. The graph below presents the curves associated with the firm Superior Trading Co. Superior Trading Co. is a monopolist that produces airplanes. Move the point on the demand curve to represent the price Superior Trading Co. would charge and quantity at which they will produce. The intersection of marginal cost and marginal revenue will determine the quantity. So we are going to move here. And at that quantity, the price is going to be determined on the demand curve. This is how we are going to calculate. So the quantity is going to be 240. And this is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video.